Alright, so here's the parts to my my Road King. Here's the old shaft. It was like wobbling around, sometimes not going in gear or chattering. Um, here's the new piece. I polished it using some polishers and even a little buffing wheel. So I got that kind of mirror shine going on. That's a better lever, serial number, I think it's 113. Anyhow, the alternative is to pull the inner primary, which means taking the stator off the front and the clutch basket off the back. I wanted something simple. I don't know if this is necessarily simple, removing this. You have to, first, you're going to have to make a cut with a Dremel and remove this thing to get it out of the way. And then the problem is the angle of this plug, or of the part that's left, unless this entire thing will rotate forward. So like when it's on the bike, it's like this. If it's so loose, it'll actually rotate forward like this. You're golden. You don't have to cut it off. Because mine wouldn't rotate, I then had to cut through this, move this part, I cut through that. Then I was faced with one heck of a lot of grinding. That's a lot of grinding with the Dremel. And I also had to upgrade tools in the Dremel. My end state, and probably the best thing to start with, is just spend the $30 and get the flex shaft Dremel. I don't get it. I mean, it you have to switch out the bit and move the bit from your Dremel where the chuck goes in to the end of the flex shaft, and then they supply a collar bit. Anyhow, I use a lot of different cutting wheels, probably, so $30 for a new flex shaft if you don't have that, and then figured at least $20 in discs. I went through all of these. The Dremel, the reinforced, a Dremel cutoff wheel. Actually, this is very fine. That was the part that helped the most. But to cut off the wheel, I got this quick release. That's almost like a grinding wheel reinforced disc, and you can see really ground these things down. So your shaft is going to look like this. After it's removed, but you can see, I don't know, I hope I don't really regret this, but I kind of touched those plastic teeth right there a little bit. Hopefully we'll see what those teeth do. I hope they're not very important, but I even nicked up that thing. It took, all in all, of grinding, I would say 3 or 4 hours. I don't know. I think it possibly is still better with only 25,000 miles on the bike. I think it's better to go this route for now. I don't need to replace my rear, the belt, so and I don't need to change out my stator. If you had to change out your clutch or your generator stator, you know, by all means, I would address those and change them out at the time when you have the primary off. The other thing is, when you pull the primary, if you're changing your belt, I would definitely change this out. At least with a new one, but I've heard even the new ones loosen up. Mine, I had a independent guy. He was going out of business. Who was changing my oil. He wasn't tightening it up consistently because they're supposed to go around and hit every bolt. I guess they skipped this one. So that's what happens. 26,000 miles.